Two women walk through the pouring rain under an umbrella, past a line of men in black suits holding their own umbrellas. Inside a grand hall, the woman in a black blazer bows before a portrait of a man. Suddenly, a gagged man in a dragon shirt is dragged in and forced to his knees. Her right-hand man gestures to the captive. The woman turns from an altar, picking up a curved black blade. The captive man pleads for his life, his eyes wide with terror, but she approaches him calmly. She presses the blade to his chest, staring into his eyes, then drives it in. Blood blooms on his shirt as he screams. She pulls the blade out, wiping it clean with her fingers. She speaks coldly to the wounded man. His fear turns to rage. He shouts at her, then lunges forward. A needle flies through the air. She catches it effortlessly between two fingers and flicks it back. It strikes the man in the neck. He collapses to the floor, dead. Blood splatters across her face. She stands and turns as every man in the room drops to one knee, bowing to her. Her right-hand man pledges his loyalty, but her response makes him look up in shock. She speaks with cold determination, then turns, ready for her next move. A fleet of black luxury cars screeches to a halt. A man and a woman, a wealthy couple, step out, surrounded by a throng of bodyguards. The woman holds a photo, her expression concerned. Her husband reassures her, patting her shoulder gently. They wait expectantly. Meanwhile, the assassin from the previous scene arrives at the airport, pulling a simple white suitcase. Back in a luxurious apartment, her right-hand man hands her a file, detailing her new identity. A poor, timid girl who grew up in the slums, afraid of blood and fond of dolls. A stark contrast to the blood-splattered killer she truly is. He warns her about her new fiancé, a notorious playboy, but she is unfazed. She studies the file, then stands, determined. Her right-hand man calls a servant forward, who presents her with a new set of clothes. Back at the airport entrance, the assassin walks out, completely transformed. She's now wearing a bright red, floral-patterned, traditional outfit, her hair in two braided pigtails. The wealthy couple and their entourage stare in stunned silence. She smiles sweetly, playing the part of an innocent country girl perfectly, as all the bodyguards bow deeply. At a sprawling mansion, the assassin, now in her country girl disguise, is welcomed warmly by the wealthy couple. They lead her inside, but as they walk, the commotion outside catches her attention. Bodyguards are hastily dragging beaten men out of sight, a flicker of recognition in her eyes. At the dining table, the woman pulls out a chair for her, but freezes when she spots a silver pistol lying on the seat. The man quickly hides it, making a nervous excuse. The woman takes the girl's hand, her expression full of pity as she notices the scars. The girl's mind flashes back to a brutal rooftop fight, her hands bloody as she cleans them after dispatching her enemies. She smiles demurely, playing along. Meanwhile, in a flashy nightclub, her playboy fiancé sits surrounded by beautiful women. His assistant opens a briefcase overflowing with cash. The young man smirks. He's plotting to use these women to provoke his new bride. He then stands, and with a mischievous grin, invites them all to the Civil Affairs Bureau. At the dinner table, the girl in the country outfit reassures her new in-laws, while secretly plotting her next move. Later, at a high-end boutique, a shop assistant shows her a stunning custom-made wedding gown. Suddenly, two women enter, one young and spoiled, the other her elegant mother. The spoiled girl immediately demands the wedding dress. When the shop assistant explains it's reserved, the girl scoffs and rudely grabs the assassin's arm. The assassin's eyes flash. She recognizes the mother. The mother is shocked to see her, realizing who she is. The assassin then twists the spoiled girl's arm, making her cry out in pain. The mother flies into a rage, threatening her. But the assassin remains calm, unfazed by her threats. Meanwhile, outside the Civil Affairs Bureau, the playboy fiancé waits impatiently. His assistant tries to calm him, but he's fuming, until a glimmer of movement catches his eye. In the boutique, the girl in the country outfit confronts the elegant woman, demanding to know the truth about her past. The woman's face pales, a flashback revealing she orchestrated the girl's abduction years ago. Her spoiled daughter screams in protest, but bodyguards arrive and restrain her. The assassin glances at her watch, annoyed. Then in a blur of motion, she dispatches the bodyguards. They collapse to the floor. Defeated, the mother and daughter cower in terror. The assassin, now changed into her stunning wedding gown, calmly wipes a speck of blood from her hand. She tosses the bloody handkerchief to the floor and tells the shop assistant to burn her old clothes before sweeping out of the boutique, leaving the terrified mother and daughter amidst the wreckage. The mother vows revenge. Outside the Civil Affairs Bureau, a sleek white sports car pulls up. A single, elegant high heel steps out into a puddle. The assassin emerges, holding an umbrella, looking absolutely breathtaking. Her playboy fiancé stares, his jaw dropping in utter disbelief, completely captivated by her beauty. The playboy fiancé stares, mesmerized, as the assassin in her wedding dress walks towards him. He snaps out of it as she introduces herself. He tries to act cool, folding his arms, but his facade crumbles. At his signal, a group of women in flashy dresses rush out of the building. Surrounding him, he boasts about being a playboy, giving her a chance to back out, but she just smiles. Unfazed, she approaches him, her eyes glinting with amusement, and gently touches his chin. He flinches, startled. She grabs his hand, her grip surprisingly strong. He cries out as she squeezes. She pulls him close, their faces inches apart, and whispers a warning in his ear. The other women try to pull them apart, but she holds him firm, their eyes locked in a silent battle of wills. The playboy shoves the women aside and straightens his shirt, a smirk playing on his lips. He's clearly enjoying the attention. At the marriage registration office, they pose for their official photo. He smiles brightly. while she maintains a cool, aloof expression. As they leave, he launches into a tirade, threatening her, but she simply clenches her fist. Unfazed, suddenly, a luxury car pulls up and he scrambles to get in, leaving her standing alone in the rain. She watches him go. Her expression unreadable, a silent storm brewing in her eyes. In a dimly lit art studio, the Playboy fiancé paints with intense focus. His assistant watching thoughtfully, he speaks of his desire to be a free-spirited artist, unbound by expectations. Back at the mansion, the assassin arrives, pulling her suitcase to the gate, but the maids refuse her entry, explaining her new husband has ordered them to keep her out. She simply smiles, reassures them, and walks away from the main gate. Meanwhile, the Playboy relaxes in a bubble bath sipping wine, smugly confident he has won their first battle. Suddenly, the bathroom window shatters. He looks up in shock as the assassin crashes through the glass, landing gracefully on the floor. She rises, unfazed by the broken glass, and stares at him with cold determination. He cowers in the tub, completely terrified. The Playboy panics in the tub, trying to cover himself. As the assassin stands over him, her arms crossed, he accuses her of being desperate, but his bravado is gone. His assistant rushes in with a towel, and the Playboy nearly faints from the shock. He rallies, telling her she can't leave the house, then scrambles out of the tub, dripping wet. He freezes when she orders him to stop, but then defiantly marches out, his assistant trailing behind him. That night, the assassin is woken by loud music and shouting. She gets out of bed and follows the noise to the living room, where her new husband is throwing a wild party, dancing and singing with a group of friends. He defiantly declares that if he can't go out to party, he'll bring the party home. She watches from the top of the stairs, her expression unreadable, as the party rages on below. At the party, one of the Playboy's friends mockingly asks if he's married a country bumpkin. The Playboy, who is singing karaoke, slams the microphone down. He angrily defends his new wife, declaring that only he is allowed to criticize her. The friends are stunned into silence, then try to leave, but he insists they stay and party. As they continue their raucous celebration, one of the friends raises a glass to the assassin, who is now standing at the top of the stairs. He offers her a drink, and she accepts, but as he hands it to her, she crushes the glass in her bare hand. The partygoers stare, mouths agape, in stunned silence. She lets the broken shards fall to the floor, her gaze fixed on her husband, who looks back at her, a mixture of shock and something else stirring in his eyes. The assassin looks down at the shards of glass in her hand, then issues a chilling warning to her husband. His bravado returns, and he taunts her. But his friends, terrified, all kneel before her. He's stunned, but they quickly drag him to his knees as well, begging for forgiveness on his behalf. He shoves them off, still defiant, but his friend pulls him aside, urging him to stop provoking her. He agrees, but only after making a final boastful threat. In the living room, the assassin now stands alone. When her husband returns, now sober and lounging on a couch, she challenges him to a bet, a race, with his limited edition sports cars on the line. He scoffs, refusing to drive drunk, but she clarifies the terms. They will stand in the path of two cars speeding towards them, and the first one to move loses. He's shocked by her audacity, but agrees. At the racetrack, two high-end sports cars are lined up, ready to go. Their friends cheer them on from the sidelines, unseen in the shadows. The elegant woman from the boutique watches, a sinister smile on her face, plotting the assassin's demise. At the racetrack, a woman waves the checkered flags, signaling the start of the race. The Playboy and the assassin stand in the center of the track, their friends cheering wildly. The elegant woman watches from the sidelines, a sinister glint in her eyes, before the race begins. The Playboy's friend offers him a drink, which he downs in one gulp. Unknown to him, the elegant woman has bribed the friend to drug his drink. The friend then offers a drink to the assassin, but her husband intervenes, telling him to back off. She downs the drink anyway, much to the friend's surprise. As the countdown begins, two sports cars rev their engines, then speed towards them. The Playboy tenses his eyes wide with fear. The cars get closer and closer, screaming for the cars to stop. The drivers slam on their brakes, one car stopping just inches from the fallen assassin. He stares in horror as the friends rush to his side. As the cars screech to a halt, the Playboy rushes to the assassin's side. She lies motionless on the pavement. His friends scream his name in terror. He throws himself over her, shielding her body with his own as one of the cars crashes and explodes in a massive fireball. He holds her close, his face etched with worry. Their friends rush towards them, relieved to see them alive. Later, in a hospital room, the assassin sits up in bed, her arm covered in bloody scrapes. She remembers the friend's trembling hand as he offered her the drugged drink, and realizes there's a larger conspiracy at play. Just then, her in-laws burst in, frantic with worry. They offer to pay any price for her care, but she reassures them, pointing to the blood on her arm and revealing it's not hers, but her husband's. They stare at her, stunned, as a wave of understanding and gratitude washes over them. The Playboy sits in a wheelchair, his arm in a sling, complaining as his assistant pushes him into the hospital room. His parents are there, fussing over the assassin. His father scolds him, and his mother berates him for his reckless behavior. He protests, pointing out that he's the one who's injured, but they brush off his complaints, siding completely with their new daughter-in-law. He's exasperated, reminding them that she's far from the fragile girl they think she is. He recalls her smashing the glass window and crushing the whiskey glass, but his parents refuse to believe him. His father slaps him. Hurst waps, calling him a liar. He looks to his assistant for support, but the assistant, catching the assassin's warning glare, remains silent. The Playboy is left speechless, utterly defeated. as the assassin smiles sweetly from her hospital bed. The assassin calmly intervenes, defending her husband and explaining his erratic behavior as a result of a head injury. The playboy is shocked by her defense, but his parents are completely won over. They praise her for being a good wife and leave the hospital, abandoning their son to her care. He tries to call them back, but they're already gone. His assistant, seeing his chance to escape, wishes him a speedy recovery and bolts from the room.